Hello, my name is Beck. Welcome to a reading vlog, the first one of this year. I'm reading The Wheel of Time, the second book. I'm 200 pages in. Today is Monday, but it's also a public holiday, so that is why I'm not working. Dave is though, so we're going into his office and I'm gonna try and smash out a bunch of pages of this, so let's hope that I can. I'm also currently reading a couple of other things, but for the moment this is my priority. So I meant to update yesterday, but time kind of got away from me, and also I didn't read any Wheel of Time, so I was listening to an audiobook instead, and I also got sucked back into Animal Crossing. I haven't played that game in months, and then a new update came out with Mario, and now I have Mario items that are available to me, and so I've decided to just redo my entire island almost from scratch and demolish a bunch of stuff and move everything around. So instead of reading a physical book, an audiobook really suited me better. So I picked up A History of What Comes Next by Sylvain Neuvel, and I've enjoyed Sleeping Giants and The Test by him, so I thought I would enjoy this one as well. I was already halfway through it when I picked it up to play Animal Crossing while listening to it, and unfortunately I actually didn't love it. I want to give it 3 stars, but the more I think about it, I'm giving it like a 2.5 maybe. It's not a 2, I didn't outright dislike it, but there were parts of it that it really didn't seem to flow or gel. It's about a girl named Nina and her mother, and they are reincarnations of all the women that have come before them, and they want to go to space in order to prevent humanity from dying. I think that's the general gist of it. They're also trying to escape this guy named the Tracker, who is notorious for hunting them down in each regeneration and killing them. And it had some interesting points about it and some interesting world building and voices, because the audiobook was really good. But I think if I was reading it physically, I would have DNF'd it. And I think that's because while I liked some things that the characters did, and while I could definitely envision all of the action scenes, the plot and the world building were just subpar to me. All of the stuff that could have had a cool sci-fi twist, it just seemed like historically things that people already would have accomplished anyway. So it wasn't overly interesting to me. And so I want to give it a 3. I really wanted to, but I think it's a 2.5. So that's pretty disappointing. First book finished in March and it's a 2.5 stars. Maybe Wheel of Time can be better, but honestly I've read just over 200 pages now, and the miscommunication in it that was really griping me, that is now kind of past and it was addressed. And while it wasn't necessarily resolved, at least it was acknowledged, so I can move on past that. I am filming a spoiler vlog, so if you want specifics, go and head over there, but it's okay. I'm enjoying it, but it's okay. And because it's so long, I have to be so motivated to pick it up. So when I'm reading it, I'm really enjoying it, but when I have to actually think about going and picking it up to start reading it again, I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it. So I think I just need to bite the bullet and continue reading it, because I really don't want it to drag into April. If it starts to drag into the end of this month and I still have a lot left, I'm probably going to momentarily DNF it and then pick it up later, because it is tanking the rest of my reading. I haven't done anything else except for that audiobook, and I've also started an audiobook for Jade City, which I want to listen to, and then the pre-order of A History of What Comes Next came in, and that was disappointing, as we know. So hopefully with Jade City I'm going to enjoy that more, because I just started it, and while the names on audio and the context are hard to track, it's supposed to be complicated because it's just introducing everything, and I love the action sequence and I love the world building so far, so I'm definitely interested. So it's about gangs, it's a fantasy, and it's about Jade as a currency that give people supernatural powers, which is really cool. So I'm really enjoying that one. I hope that's at least a 4, because I need some good books over here. Happy Wednesday. I'm doing some video editing now because I really need to catch up. I'm a little bit behind. I haven't read any more Wheel of Time. I think that's going to be the enigma for this vlog. And I have been listening to a little bit of Jade City by Fonda Lee. I'm 5% into that audiobook now, which I consider a big win, considering I'm not really listening or reading to anything avidly at the moment. I think I'm in a bit of a reading slump actually. I didn't want to admit that to myself, but I think I am. So I've read 9 books out of my 50 book goal this year, so technically I'm not behind, and I do have time to go and have a bit of a break. Probably going to play more Animal Crossing, not gonna lie. But for the moment I'm going to be video editing, and then later tonight I have an exercise class, and then I also haven't mentioned, but Dave and I are looking to buy a place together, and so a lot of the time that I'm not on camera, I'm probably stressing about finances, auctions, going to property inspections and all that. Very scary, like adult stuff. So if I'm frazzled and I get in front of a camera, you know that I've probably been to a property inspection. So that's kind of what's happening in the background. But for now I'm going to video edit, which is the third time I've said that, so I really need to go. And then after that, we'll see how my evening pans out. I don't think I'm going to read today though, except for what I've continued with Jade City. I'm struggling a little bit to capture the names of characters because the way that it's introduced, it was really cool and very cinematic, but there were a bunch of characters in the book and it doesn't seem to focus a central character yet. I am assuming that it's going to have a couple of different perspectives. I haven't looked at a blurb, I haven't looked at any spoiler-free reviews. I didn't want to know anything going into this book, and so that has hopefully not worked to my detriment. If I'm getting confused, I'm going to go look up names and stuff, because often when I listen to an audiobook, especially a fantasy book, I don't know if I'm alone in this or not, but generally the names fall out of my head because I haven't read them. And so I think I need to go and read the names of the characters as I'm encountering them, hopefully without spoiling myself, so that I can keep track of who is appearing in the audiobook. Because I'm interested. I'm actually really loving this. I think it's going to be a 4 or 5 stars. And that's a pretty big claim considering I'm not even 10% in yet. But I like the way that it's action-packed. I like the way that that is all described, and I love the world building that is being developed. It's not all thrown to you at once, but there's enough of it that you're getting a real taste of what's going on, and I love it. So I'm quite excited to be reading that. Not super keen on The Wheel of Time, but I did read a little bit the other night. Honestly, I'm only just over 200 pages. I barely made a dent really, so I didn't really update about it, to be honest. But like I said, that miscommunication that is frustrating me is finally acknowledged, so at least we can move past that. It's just very frustrating to pick up an adult fantasy book and then have teenagers in it who are being a little bit whiny, but hopefully they grow past that. I mean, it is book 2 of what, a 14 or 15 book series, so there is, to be fair, a lot of space to grow. But anyway, I will catch you later. I need to go and do some stuff. Hello, it is Friday. I am very bamboozled. I've just finished work, I've got a bunch of other stuff to do, but I have been reading Jade City and I'm really loving it. We follow 3 siblings and Shay is one. There are 2 brothers. One is significantly older and one is that kind of character who is very passionate and very emotional and angry and prone to causing fights. So I think it's going to follow all of these characters, and rather than centering a conflict, it's going to involve all of them somehow and twist all of their storylines together. And there's going to be a lot of little conflicts that feed into a big one. And I'm quite excited about continuing and finding all that stuff out. As for any other reading, I haven't continued The Wheel of Time, but I am a third into it. I'm 30%. I'm looking forward to continuing that. And I'm going to play Animal Crossing hopefully this weekend and listen to more Jade City. And I'm going to edit this vlog and I've got a bunch of video planning to do. I feel very overwhelmed, but I'm having fun and I think I just need a good nap. So I'll speak to you soon. Okay, I'm significantly less bamboozled now. It's Saturday afternoon. We have had a very hectic day, so now I'm finally sitting down to actually end this vlog. I have a package to open and I have a few questions to answer that people submitted to me on Instagram. So first of all, I'm gonna open the package. I know what this is. This came from Waterstones. It was a pre-order of a Becky Chambers book. It never pulls right. It is The Galaxy and the Grand Within, a very beautiful hardcover, and I believe it has very, oh, the end papers. Oh, it's so pretty, and I love the purple. I read this in my February wrap up and I talked about it there, so go over there if you want to hear my thoughts, but I gave it a 4.5. I love Becky Chambers, she's brilliant. And this is a very beautiful edition, so I'm very happy it finally arrived because I pre-ordered this. So I've been waiting a while for it considering it came from Waterstones. But I don't have any more updates to talk about in regards to what I've been reading because I've gotten up to 10% of Jade City, which I mentioned yesterday, and I've also been reading The Wheel of Time, haven't touched it since. And then this afternoon it's likely that I'm going to play a bit of Animal Crossing, and then we've got dinner plans, so I don't think I'm going to read anything today. Maybe I'll pick it up tomorrow, but who knows, honestly. I have to really motivate myself to read Wheel of Time, but it is very rainy outside, so that is peak reading weather. Now to get into the questions. I won't get into too many, I'll probably do like 3 or 4. So one of them is all-time favorite book cover. That is really, really difficult. I really like the illustrated covers. I did a video about book covers, but yeah, I couldn't even pick for that video. I do love foiling and I do love illustration. Spellslinger is up there and it's the only one I can think of right now. It's not my all-time favorite, but it is up there. So I'll probably just go with Spellslinger. The next question is a book that took you by surprise. And I actually finished a book at the beginning of this vlog, A History of What Comes Next, and that did take me by surprise, but not in a good way. I thought I'd love it, and it ended up being a 2.5 stars. So I think that combined with just being busy in life things has put me in a reading slump, which is a bit of a shame. I'm trying to push out of it. So hopefully I can do so. And I think finishing Wheel of Time is going to help with that, because as soon as I finish a book I feel way more satisfied, so I think I just need to power through it. The next question, and the last question that I'm going to answer to keep this nice and short and sweet, is favourite read of 2021, and for the moment that is going to have to be Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I read that on Valentine's Day and adored it. I talked about it in my February wrap up as well, like with Galaxy and the Ground Within, and it's quickly become a 5 stars. It's quickly become a book that I am dying to reread, but I just haven't made time to do that. So definitely, at the moment at least, favourite of 2021. I know Brandon Sanderson has a book coming out at the end of this year and that might clock the spot, but who knows? I'm hoping to discover a lot of new reads that are favourites to me this year, especially with all of the new fantasy that I've bought lately. But anyway, that is the end of this reading vlog. Thank you for sticking with me. Come chat to me down in the comments and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!